I love to have interesting people in my bed. You know I do, right? And our next guest is an interesting guy, but he's also a friend. He's Tarek Turjman.
What's up?
So Tarek is a queer Guatemalan-born Palestinian-American comedian. Yeah, take that all in. Living in Miami, Florida. His stories of his diverse upbringing and experiences as a real estate agent will surely leave you baffled and entertained. He's currently an improv actor and the host of Tonight with Tarek at Villain Theater in Miami. He headlined Gay 8 Fest, the Gay 8 Festival, Gay Ocho, and Villain Theater's Pride Comedy Festival, No Fear, We're Queer in 2022. Welcome, Tarek!
What's up?
Oh, what up?
FayWhat?
FayWhat? So, Tarek, is it Tarek or Tarek? I've known you for about 2 years now, and every single time I talk to you, I say your name different, and you allow it.
Because it's a name it's an Arab name, but it's
So automatically we can't say five letters?
No, but so everyone says it different depending on the country.
Okay, so what have you heard?
Some people, there's Tariq. Is very common here.
Tariq is kind of sexy.
Tariq.
Okay,
the pronunciation in Arabic is Tarek.
Tarek.
So Tarek. But en español todo el mundo dice Tarek.
Tarek. Like they don't know what a K is. Tarek.
And I went to an American school my whole life, so I've always been Tarek.
Okay.
Kind of like Derek.
Okay, so then you prefer Tarek.
Yeah, the American pronunciation of my name is Tarek.
But you're just tired of like telling people that's not how it is, so you just let them talk to you.
I don't mind it. Because it's Tarek.
Okay, Tariq, but my name is Flay. If somebody decided to call me Flay or Frey,
no, but they're not adding
or gay, which I don't mind either.
Because they're not adding a letter. No, I don't care. Look, just remember my name, okay?
It rhymes with Derek.
It rhymes
Tarek. Now we're done. Yes. All right. Tarek, you've been a friend, so I'm so happy that you agreed to get in bed with me.
Thank you.
I've been trying to get you in bed for a while. I know that sounds sexy, but it's not
been a minute since I was in bed with a lady.
I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy. You look great, Faye. Look at you. Look
at me at 9 in the morning looking like this. I woke up like this, bitch.
Oh my God. You look great.
Thank you.
And you were in Italy, weren't you?
I was in Italy for like 3 weeks. Were you following my adventures?
I was.
Girl, I brought 5 bags. I took 5 bags of clothes.
Always. I grew up going to Italy. My mother's Italian, and it was just suitcases every time you went up, olive oil, wine.
That's why she had you, was to carry the suitcases.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Really was. You know? That's why she overfed me.
Oh my God. So,
anyways.
Tarek, are you a bear? Do you consider yourself a bear?
I do. I do consider myself a bear.
Because I heard you refer to yourself as queer. You've referred to yourself.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I grew up fat and always on a diet or trying to be skinnier.
Do you have siblings?
I do. We're 5.
And they're all bigger also?
We all went through stages. Now they're all kind of skinny. I'm the only fat one right now. And we've always struggled with our weight, all of us.
Okay.
All of us. And I grew up with I have a lot of body dysmorphia. So I remember being called a bear, like when I came out of the closet in high school and then college and stuff. And then being offended a little because I was like, I'm not fat. I don't want to be fat. I want to have a 6-pack and be one of the South Beach gays.
Yeah.
You know? And then I realized I was never going to be one of those gays. I tried.
You tried your bestest.
Girl, I had a 6-pack for like 6 months. And then.
And by a 6-pack, do you mean like a 6-pack of beer that you held in your hand? You actually had like a 6-pack?
I had a 6-pack and I don't remember having it. But then like I saw, someone showed me a picture one day. I'm like, is that me?
Oh yeah.
But that's how body dysmorphia.
But isn't that the worst that you'll look at a picture of somebody, those damn memories on Facebook, screw you, right? And then you see something.
That's like, giving people depression.
Oh yeah.
Facebook needs to stop.
They do need to stop. I don't need to remember that. Okay? Yes. Here's a picture of you when you were hotter. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like, here's a picture of you before you were depressed mess.
Yeah, you know? Here's you with your ex when you looked your best. And you're like, okay.
But at that moment when you took that picture, you felt fat. Right?
Yeah. I never saw myself accurately, I guess. Or, with kindness.
Yeah.
But now in the last few years, I have embraced being just a big guy or not having a 6-pack. Because let me tell you, in the gay community, a small love handle makes you a bear.
Does it really?
I feel like they call bears anyone who doesn't fit like either the twink or the jock body type. Mm-hmm. If you're a bigger guy or if you have like a dad bod or just a regular masculine looking body, you're considered a bear.
You're considered a bear.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they just put everybody, because I know bears who take that really seriously.
I know muscle bears who don't have love handles, but they consider themselves bears because they're big and hairy,
Yeah.
So I feel like it's, I don't know. It's kind of like a subculture or
Okay, but if
whatever.
you're
But
embracing that, then that's it. Then you're a queer bear.
I am a queer bear.
You can even
I
start a
am.
cartoon, Queer Bears.
Yes.
Like Care Bears.
Queer
But Queer
bears.
Bears, you know?
Well, I have a show, The Three Bears, with Poppy J. Snacks.
Oh, I love Poppy.
And Aldi.
I love
Aldi
that
Mico, yeah.
picture. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Yeah.
How happy? Okay, you're Palestinian, you're Guatemalan. How happy were your parents when you decided to be a comedian?
Well, I always was. I was a child actor. I was in theater as a kid in Guatemala.
And by theater, in Guatemala.
Yeah.
But like, what does that mean in Guatemala? Being on theater, was that like a fucking a shower curtain and like some strings, and then the guy, the drunk guy from the block would go, "Aquí está Tarek," and then you would perform and do something.
No. I was part of a theater company, the American Theater Company in Guatemala, El IGA. That's what it was called. And I was in all their musicals. I was in Jesus Christ for 3 years. I did mostly smaller parts and like supporting parts because the main roles were for bigger actors. I was young. I was 14, 15. But I was in all their musicals. And then in high school, she was a star, honey. But I always was an actor, and I always wanted to be. And I was always a comedic actor. I was like, they would used to call me Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, because I was an over actor. And I just love to be funny and ridiculous. Also, because I was closeted, it was a way for me to be gay. Because I've always been very flamboyant, and it was very hard for me to control it. So the stage was really the only place that I could just really be me. So honestly, I look back at all the roles I would play or what I would do for acting, and I think I was acting more like myself. And I was acting like the character, because that was the way to do it.
It's like, okay, Tarek as the milkman, but in this episode, he's the gay milkman.
Well, that was funny because I remember being, I also did a lot of theater in Jordan. And I lived in Jordan, Amman, Jordan, for a few years when I was like 12, 13, 14. And I did commercials on television. I also, did all the plays in school. And off stage, I got bullied a lot for being flamboyant and gay. And people would make fun of my voice and whatever. But then on stage, I just remember seeing the same faces that would make fun of me cracking the fuck up.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Can I say that?
Yeah, you just did that.
But you know what I mean?
There's something about that. Like there is some weird like orgasm that happens when you make people laugh.
And people that don't like you.
And people that don't like you, or people that give you the side eye.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I see it now when I do stand-up. So after I went to college, I immigrated to this country for college. I was a student I had a student visa, so I couldn't start working in entertainment or anything. I got into real estate and kind of stopped doing it until 5 years ago when I started doing stand-up comedy again. Okay. But I've always been a comedian.
Well, no, you're funny as shit. You're funny as fuck. He really is really funny. Okay, a little bit of a downer. So, you're Palestinian and you're a huge advocate about all the crap that has been happening there. And there was just some bombings recently also, right? Does all that bad news fuel your comedy or help you with your comedy?
Oh my God, that's crazy. I was not taking my comedy. The first 3 years that I started doing comedy, I struggled a lot. It was hard. There wasn't as many venues. Pre-COVID in Miami, comedy was a very different place. There wasn't many venues and stuff.
And queer comedy, even less.
No, even less. And then, also being Arab or looking like an Arab or Muslim person was unusual for Floridians, just because there's not a lot of us here.
Yeah.
And so it was challenging for me to do it. So I started doing a lot of, the bar comedy, dick jokes, this and that. And I started hating comedy because I really am an artist who needed an expression. And part of my frustration was Palestine, And so I did want to talk about it, but I couldn't find my voice until I found the Villain Theater. And
how did you find them?
Some friends started taking some classes there. And
you went over there and took over. All right, I'm here.
The
queer bear is here.
Yeah, her name's Lori Diaz, and she's a famous barber. She's amazing. She's a hairstylist, barber, designer. She's incredible. Lori Diaz, look her up. Shout out to her. And she just posted that she was doing some improv class. I'm like, oh, where are you doing improv? Oh, it's in Little Haiti, where the Villain Theater is. And that's my area. I'm in the Wynwood, Little Haiti, Buena Vista area. So I'm like, oh, it's right there. I'm going to do it, And I found a community. community of gays and people of color and women and very supportive, all kinds of people, you know, and who were kind of like me. They couldn't find their voice in the very limited comedy world that's Miami. It's still very cis. It's still very white or white passing Latino.
Yeah.
And it's mainly just guys, like just guys. You know, like straight guys.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird sometimes.
No, but it's true. And
Yeah.
I went to the Villain Theater to see you perform once, and I didn't expect that diversity. And I feel bad that I didn't. Like
we don't.
I just didn't. You know, and then había mujeres, había blanca, había brown. They had a little bit of everything, and I was like, oh shit.
I've been teaching the stand up there for a year now, and I look at my classes of 10 people. And I can't believe the diversity sometimes. I have Asians now.
I love
have
that.
non-binary.
I love that.
I have everything. We want more, but we've had trans students. It's been great.
And it will happen.
Yeah, we have a scholarship program for Black and for trans people.
I love it.
So we have 3 seats in every class, improv, stand-up, sketch, for any Black or trans person to support Black Lives Matter and trans lives.
So look up the Villain Theater for that.
And it's been an incredible program for Black women. You don't know how many Haitian and Jamaican and Cuban, all kinds of Black women have started doing comedy in Villain Theater. It's kind of amazing.
I love that.
They never felt comfortable to speak about what they really wanted to speak in Florida. Villain also provides that space.
A safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a black box theater that's content based. So you can do dick jokes and funny jokes, and we love all kinds of comedy, but at some point you need to give the audience content, something interesting, something that they'll
educate
remember.
them in some way,
something
shape, or
that'll make
form.
them feel and remember you, whatever it might be.
Whatever it
you
might
know?
be.
But so it is the place to develop content in Miami or in South Florida, really.
Are you single?
I'm not single.
Oh my God, look at that big smile.
Yeah,
wow, okay, the last time I asked you that, you said you were single.
I'm back with my ex.
Wow, what a lesbian.
What a lesbian! Well, I think that like once bears hit 30, they become like lesbians.
Have you seen Uncoupled?
No.
You've got to see it.
I have
It's
to see it.
Doogie Howser.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about
Everyone's
it.
been
And it's,
talking
you know,
about it.
you're not 40 yet, but it's like being gay and in your 40s and, you know, being single could be hard and all that. So you end up kind of, are you settling for your ex? Because you're 30-something? Turn off the TV now.
Off the TV.
I'm so sorry.
I don't. Sometimes I feel like that. He does too. But no, we separated because of COVID. It's a long distance relationship. He lives in Greece. He's Greek.
Okay.
I'll be in Greece in September.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, drop that.
I'll go see Athena. So we were back and forth all the time, and then we separated for a year during COVID. We had to go, you know, we had to figure out our lives, and now we're back together. And we're testing the waters.
Is it because you're hard to date?
I am hard to date.
No, listen. Okay.
I also really liked the long distance
You liked
aspect.
it.
I liked it.
Okay, but
I'm
were you
a
monogamous?
selfish Leo.
Were you monogamous during that time? No.
We're
No,
open.
you're open. Okay,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course you are. Freaking gay
Well,
boys.
yeah, it's open sexually.
No, I got you.
Just sexually,
We have
not
needs.
yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
So I had Anna Lepoli
Yes.
in bed with
Oh my
me,
God,
which I
icon.
met her through you. So thank you.
Oh,
'cause
really?
I love her.
She's a lesbian icon in
Anna
Florida.
is just
Hello.
everything. He mentioned her once, and
Yeah.
I was like, I must find this woman, and then I put her in bed with
Yeah,
her.
and she's so busy. So whenever you can book her, book her.
Oh my
Like,
God.
If you ever have the opportunity to book Anna
Yes,
Lepoli, guys,
Anna Lepoli.
book
Look it
her.
up, or look up the last time that she was on the show. She was super funny. So I asked her if she would date herself, and she said, "F no."
Yeah, same. Same.
Like even stuttered. Like
Well, my boyfriend, the reason it works is because he gets me. Well, he's very different in a way, but similar. Like I'm a Leo, I'm extroverted,
so your birthday's now.
It was July 24th. was my
Woohoo!
birthday,
Okay, all right.
I share a birthday with J-Lo, but I do.
Wow. That's his claim to fame.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
share a birthday
That's
with
it.
J-Lo. Mhm.
Anyways, and he's a Scorpio. But we're both strong personalities. He's quiet about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
So
we
he
need
can
that.
deal with my strength, but he lets me be the funny loud one.
Mm-hmm.
He was very important in me pursuing comedy.
Was he?
Yeah, because he's a
Okay.
life coach,
All right.
and
Does that get
well-known
old though?
event
Like
planner stuff.
when you're in a bad mood and he's like, "You can do it." You feel like going, I'm if I would please.
You described every argument we have.
Right? Or it's like, "You're enough,
Yeah,
Tarek."
he's
Oh,
very
God,
positive.
please.
He
And
is.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
We need that. But
I
sometimes
need
it's
that,
like,
but
Dios
yeah,
mío, you
sometimes
know?
it's Dios mío. But that's why I appreciated the long distance.
I got you.
So
I got you. I got you.
I was able to get the best of everything.
Yeah.
Which
And
might
it's
sound like a selfish asshole,
well,
but
that's us. I mean, it is. We can be
yeah.
selfish that way, but
It's great. He's my best friend.
and you get to have a honeymoon every time you see him because you live
Yes.
long distance.
So I know, and I've dated him for 6 years on and off. I've spent 4 summers in Greece.
Ooh.
It's something I never thought I'd do, and worked from there while I was there because I'm able to with my real estate and with everything I was doing. And it was just an incredible experience being in Greece and learning some Greek. And I don't know if you've ever been to Greece or spent
I'm
some
going
time
to Greece
there.
next year,
Oh my
which I'm
God.
super excited about it.
Let
Going
me
to
know.
Athens, going to Mykonos.
If I'm still with the Greek.
You'll probably be there.
Yeah, well,
Kidnap
he's
him.
an event planner in Mykonos and Santorini, so I'm in Mykonos base. But it's just such a wonderful place. I spent 3 weeks in Crete once.
That's so
Crete,
dope.
the island of Crete is incredible. The energy, the people, and super affordable and amazing. Go to Crete.
Oh, well,
And-
let's talk about affordable
Yeah.
and not being affordable. So South Florida is like the most not affordable place in the
Yeah.
world. Now, I have lived off and on in South Florida for about 20 years. And
Where
20
else
years
have you lived?
I lived in New York City. I lived in Herald Square. I lived
Okay.
in San Francisco in the Castro and Twin Peaks.
Damn, so you know the expensive.
Yes, I lived. Yeah. Well, because for this gay girl,
it's
I
very
didn't want.
comparable markets. These expensive international.
Yes,
you
and
know.
also gay friendly. I
And gay,
refuse to
yeah.
live in a place that I mean, well, Florida hates us, but
But
you know,
we have our centers,
but being a
right?
gay friendly place,
Yeah.
that's always been important to me. You know, for me to feel safe in that capacity.
Same.
But all these places are uber expensive. Now, everybody would always say California and New York were number one. Now, after COVID, Miami and South
Yeah.
Florida has like blown every other city out of the water and is now number one in most expensive rentals.
Yeah.
Our housing is a freaking mess. Our
It is.
property insurance has gone up substantially as well. As a homeowner, that's gone up $1,000 for my house.
Oh, for my condo too.
I mean-
I'm going to pay over $1,000 now for a 1-bedroom condo in Brickell because of how the insurance went up.
Yeah, and there's only 2 little companies that help South Florida, so you're kind of stuck.
Yes, and the Florida government is very relaxed with them, so they can really hike the prices up for anything. So this past year, all the condos got an insurance. Looking at me going off on real estate. I've been a realtor for 12 years in Miami.
So he knows his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the insurance company hiked now for condos.
Well, that
because
also
of
have
the
the
condo
Surfside.
because
Surfside.
unfortunately
If you guys have heard of that, like so the
Yeah.
Surfside condo collapse happened down here in South Florida, where over 100 plus people died.
Yeah.
And including a friend of mine, DJ Teresa, who was
Oh,
just an
yes.
incredible
Oh, my
human
God.
being. And that
Tragedy.
sideswiped other condo owners because then insurance companies didn't want to carry them anymore.
No, and if your building is more than 10 years old now, they're like, getting
And all the buildings are older than 10 years
of
old.
course, and it doesn't, and that happened to that building because of a lot of situations that came together, right? And most buildings are not going through that, right? And are healthy. And so it's kind of unnecessary for them to do it. Like they're just using it as a reason to hike it that much. But also because the weather's getting more, dramatic with, the global warming and everything.
There's
They
a
also-
dust outside right now. There's a dust out. There's this thing called Saharan dust. I'm not even making it up. I'm not even making it up. He's like, really? Like, and
Yeah,
there's
there's a dust storm right now.
where for
in
people with
Florida.
COPD or if you're a smoker or something like that, you just can't get that air into your lungs. You can't breathe. It's like biting into a cheese.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the living hell?
Yeah.
So how is real estate for you right now?
It's been this year hasn't been as busy as the 2 previous years because after the COVID boom in Florida, everyone moved here because we were open, and in terms of COVID restrictions, anyways. But but then the inventory is so limited now and so expensive that I work with a lot of foreign investors and domestic out-of-state investors. So they're always looking at numbers. And because of that, this year has been slow for me because as an investor now, not much is worth
Yeah.
jumping into at the moment. So it's just the inventory is so low, but also because our politicians approve million-dollar condo after million-dollar condo, dedicate resources, time, meetings, land for these condos, and they're not doing the same for, middle-class rentals, whatever, affordable condos, single-family homes for people near the city that can't afford them or need a little, government assistance.
They're not doing any help for them.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is minimal compared to what they're doing for the condos, but these condos are for the minority. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So it doesn't make sense. And it's just the reality of Florida. We're a very, very conservative, capitalistic driven.
We're a mess. So tell the truth. Listen, okay, housing,
we're a mess.
We're a hot mess. Okay, the weather, like you said, we can bite the sand outside. The hate that's being spewed to our community, to the LGBTQ plus community,
Horrible.
The laws that are being flung our way, the don't say gay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Where do you stand on all this? What do you think about that?
It's very depressing. I'm a very progressive person, right? Like, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm pretty independent. I think the person I would have come the closest to voting for may be Bernie Sanders, but maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, I see everything from the bigger picture. And so I'm a very progressive person in my politics, which makes me a minority in Florida. You know what I mean? In most conversations, I kind of keep my mouth shut until just to avoid hustles. But so it's a little depressing because I do love Florida and I've been in Miami for almost 20 years. It is my home, but it's hard to be, it's hard to be a liberal there in a way.
No, yeah, it is.
Or, even queer, not even liberal politically. I'm just saying, being a queer person or someone who leads a very liberal way of life or just, not the conservative way of life. So it's getting harder. Yeah. It really is.
Like, we thought after Trump got out of office that things would be kind of like better for our community. And instead it's been like a million times worse.
But you know what's really horrible is that, Latin Americans look up to the United States. So I work with a lot of wealthy Latinos, mostly white Latinos, but not all of them, that have made money or worked hard for the money or inherited, most of them. But they know about, they strive to be Americanized, or they listen to what America has to say, and they listen to Trump a lot. They like Trump a lot, but they listen to American presidents, and they listen to DeSantis. So I hear my clients that I work with ask me things like, "Oh, what do you think about Don't Say Gay?" And then I hear them say, "We never thought of that, but after we heard the governor speak, we think he might have a point." So I'm like, he's putting the harm this person is doing. He's hurting people in Latin America. Yeah. You know what I mean? So these people go back to Latin America, Venezuela, Colombia, Guatemala, and they bring that idea to their countries where homophobia is even worse.
To begin with, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just I see the harm of it in so many levels. I see the fear in the young queer kids. It's a different fear. I had fear of a lot of my fear growing up was internalized because of coming out and stuff like that. Now I feel like it's a different fear of being attacked in a more direct way.
More directly, yeah, and like firmly and like in your face. Like, Trump made it okay to tell you in your face, "I don't like you because you're queer." Yeah. Where before, if they thought that, they wouldn't say it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really sad. It's frustrating.
Are you gonna vote?
Yeah. I am. I actually got my citizenship like a year ago.
Woohoo!
Finally. Yay. So I am gonna vote, yes, for the first time this month and for all the elections to come. But yeah, it is sad, but that's why I also do comedy in Florida. And I'm I'm a resident at the Villain Theater. We are a very progressive place. Like
the House of Yas.
The House of Yas.
The House of Yas.
Yes, which is great. It's Poppy J. Snacks, Patrick Rodriguez, Auntie Mame, the drag queen.
Oh, Auntie Mame is great.
It's such a great cast.
You have great energy there, and I think that it's you and your energy that makes all those personalities want to be there on stage with you.
It's a lot of people like me. It's just a great. We have a great what's it called? Yeah, it's just
camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
And
in a way, it's kind of like we're refugees. We're in this cultural center for alternative culture. Like the people who come to our shows, the kids, the tourists, and everyone of all the ages that come to the show, I can see that they're interested in queer culture, or they're different, or they've had a struggle, or a lot of women of color come to our theater, and we don't have that in Florida, so we're very proud to be that. And the artists that come out of state and out of the country to perform in our theater are equally as alternative and different and special. So it's great. I love being part of that, and now I do it with more passion because I understand how important it is for the younger kids to have a queer stand-up teacher
to look up to,
and to have and for women to have many female comedians around them, and women comedy teachers, so that they can identify themselves and
it's also therapeutic for all of you. I mean, with all this shit that we just talked about that's been thrown at us on an everyday basis, you need that outlet or you'll go freaking insane. I
was going insane. I was very depressed. I was doing real estate nonstop, making money and stuff, but just not really being, stimulating in other ways. And also, I'm with wealthy people all day, or people who are more privileged than the majority of the people that live in this state, of all the locals I see. So it kind of fucked me up in a way that I was kind of like in that world so much. Now I'm in two very different worlds.
Different
worlds. I do jokes about how I'm like with wealthy New Yorkers during the day, and then I'm like with all the poor broke comedians during the night. And it's like, it's crazy because I can see
the extreme,
the people pushing out the people. I can see both. I'm part of the people of both peoples. So I don't know.
Do you do any stand-up in Spanish?
I do. Sí, si hago stand-up en español.
Difficult?
It is in South Florida because it's very niche. Like, there's a Cuban stand-up show. There's a Venezuelan stand-up show.
Yeah, I went to a Colombian stand-up show for Colombian independence, and I was freaking lost. Okay.
Oh my God. So you speak Spanish, you know what you can understand
what they're saying, but you don't like. Yeah, but the jokes themselves.
But the references.
Yes, I was lost.
I'm cast in a lot of Venezuelan shows. Because I have Venezuelan family, and I've lived here for a long time, and a lot of my friends were Venezuelan. I lived in Doral. I live in Brickell. Brickell's like Caracas. So I have camaraderie. I know some of the cultural references. So I've built a set for Venezuelans. So I get booked on these shows. But then I sit down and watch the other comedians, and my friends that I take with me, Venezuelan, are translating for me. They're like, that's a famous politician. That's, this case that
That's what the mom does every morning.
This is so niche, but they're brilliant. But that's the way Spanish-speaking comedy is in this country a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially in Miami, because I don't think we haven't really solidified our like Miami Spanish-speaking culture.
We don't have
where
one.
we all come together. We don't.
No, we don't have one. And people say, because we have so many Cubans here that is it. But no, it's not, because we have so many other cultures here, and it all kind of blends together. Where our Spanglish, Spanglish is not like New York Spanglish.
Well, we did. We started a formula. We're trying to formula in Villain Theater and some people in Miami, which is a Spanglish formula. Some famous comedians are doing it on Netflix and stuff, where they do a set that both people can, like that English speakers can understand, but Spanish speakers will also. But we did one with Francisco Ramos. He's on Netflix. He's a very well-known Venezuelan American comic, and it was a hit. It was a hit. And it was nice because in the crowd, there was all kinds of Latinos. There was Cuban American, there was Cuban, recent Cuban immigrants, there was Puerto Ricans, there was Mexicans, there was all type of Latinos. So then all the comics were very relaxed to do more jokes and comedy because they had more opportunity, more content. That was very nice, but that's very rare in South Florida.
Right.
But I do Spanish comedy, and it's very fun. And there's some great venues. Support Spanish comedy.
Yeah, right, like that.
Yeah.
Spanish comedy. What's on the horizon for you, Tarek? What's next? What's going on? I know you have a bunch of exciting stuff coming up. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm going on a mini Florida tour and more later on, starting in October throughout 2022 to 2023. We're going to Chicago. We're going to New York. Denver.
What, in a bus, in a car? How do you do that? You fly?
We're gonna fly.
What?
Private. No, I'm kidding. No. I have a magic carpet.
Just don't let it be Spirit. That's all that matters.
Oh no. I don't
no,
fly
like
Spirit.
you need to get there. You
No.
need to get there. I'm sorry. I used to fly Spirit.
Also, you know what? I did too, because it flies to Guatemala, and it was good. But they really fucked up my shit a lot of times.
A lot of
where you're
times.
like, you know what?
It's
And
not
I live in
worth
Miami,
it.
so then you still had to get the cab or the Uber to go back.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna pay the $100 more than it is to fly direct from
Yes.
MIA, which I'm really close to. So it's also that, but whatever.
And you have an anniversary coming up for the Villain Theater,
Well,
too?
yeah. Well, my tour dates in Florida, I'm going to be in Orlando. I'm going to be at St. Matthew's Tavern, which is a queer venue. It was an old church.
Sounds like a church. I was
It
going
was
to say,
an
like,
old
it sounds like a
church, and now it's like a brewery, and they're doing
Dope.
comedy shows, and we are going to be there October 29th, Halloween weekend.
Awesome.
And it's the Three Bears, Poppy J Snacks, hosting Al D'Amico and myself. And we're going to have a guest, Alina Siddiqui. And then we're going to be in Tampa that weekend, Lakeland, and Fort Myers.
Nice.
So follow me on Instagram for that news. But we're coming your way, Central Florida. And this weekend is Villain Theater's 7th year anniversary.
That's awesome.
And we're
Can you
celebrating.
believe it's been 7 years? How long have you been there?
I've been there 4 years, 3 to 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
to everybody
you.
over
And
at the
it's
Villain
great.
Theater.
And we're really graduating. Like in the 3 to 4 years that I've been there, now I can see the generation of younger comedians who come after me, and they're fucking killing it. The Generation Z, oh my God. Like,
They are killing it.
I love them. I'm jealous, and I love them. They are incredible.
That's awesome.
Like the
And they have
comedy
you.
shows have been grown a lot. I think you came to a comedy show, what, like 2 years? No, like a year or so.
Yeah.
We've grown so much since then.
Love.
Yeah, it's great. We're super happy.
I love
And we're celebrating this weekend. So go to villaintheater.com. Well, yes. So it's coming up.
Follow Tarek, and you'll be able to find out
Yes.
where he's going to be at, and then you can follow him everywhere. Villain Theater also has their own IG and Facebook,
Yes.
so you can follow them on also. And on Facebook, on Link, on
Yeah.
on
I'm on
Instagram,
TikTok, Tarek
on
the
TikTok.
Comedian.
He's on OnlyFans. Just find him, Tarek Turjman.
As a camera person, I have assisted a friend with their OnlyFans, but I never starred in an OnlyFans.
Well, you should think about that. You never know.
Girl, I don't know.
Well, there's money in that.
I think doing stand-up comedy is more vulnerable and scarier than like showing.
It actually is. You
Okay.
feel like you're like naked on stage.
It might be
for
easier
real.
just to be like, hey,
Hey,
showing whole
here's-
a little
here's-
bit.
here's
No,
my butt.
I just want to.
Are you still doing Tonight with Tarek as well?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure that you look that up
Yes.
as well.
I'd love to have you one day. You'd love that.
Oh, I
show.
would
It's
love
super
that.
fun. We do trivia. It's super fun.
I would
It's
love
great.
that.
Anna Lepley has done it many times. Brooke Cardis. I just started naming lesbians,
Oh, because that's it. That's it.
It's like convince you to come. Yeah.
I would love to go.
Yeah.
Tarek, thank you for being in bed
Thank
with
you
me
for
on the
having
FayWhat
me.
show.
This
Qué
was
lindo.
so much fun.
My
You
queer
are
bear.
gorgeous.
My queer bear.
Yay.
Make sure you follow Tarek everywhere
Please
on
do.
social media, right? Find out where he's going to be at. He is a funny ass bear queer.
I am.
Queer bear.
Queer bear.
Right? And, Poppy Snacks is also incredible. He's great. And
Yeah.
he's got always this great footwear. You've got to also follow him as well.
Yes.
He's super cute. He's like a little otter. He's like
Yes.
he's like a cub.
He's the they. He's the they.
They is like a cub. They're like a cub.
Yeah. They are a super. This is they. This is their merch. Go to Poppy J Snacks. But she's so cute. She's like a teddy bear. She literally looks like a teddy bear.
No,
Like she
and they
can
give
be
the
reproduced
best
into a
hugs.
stuffed animal. Yeah.
Okay? If you
Like if you see
them,
Poppy J Snacks,
say, give me a hug.
yeah. But no, because then don't give them COVID though.
Or monkeypox.
or monkeypox. She's vaccinated because she's gay.
And she's smart.
Isn't that hilarious that the monkeypox vaccines you'd go there and it's only gay men?
That's it.
It's kinda-
I know boys that are actually going to the vaccinations to pick up guys.
Girl,
These are-
the men.
All right? You heard it here first. All right, Tarek Turjman, thank you for being on the
Thank you,
FayWhat
guys.
show. Make sure you follow him on social media, and we will be right back. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat show. Get the week started with me.